Hi, my name is Bailey, and I'm coming to you from Your Private Midwife. I'm the founder and lead midwife here at our privately practicing company, and I'm here to answer a question for you, which is how do I book with my midwife? Now, I get lots and lots of inquiries via phone calls and my website asking how they can access care, not necessarily with myself as a privately practicing midwife, but just in general, how can I access care with a midwife here in the UK? So if you are tuning in from somewhere else further afield, hello, you are so welcome. But today I'm going to be specifically talking about how you access maternity care within the United Kingdom. My name is Bailey, like I said, and I have been an NHS midwife working within the community setting for almost a decade before stepping out into privately practicing care. So I was the midwife that you would have gotten access to notify that you were expecting a baby, that you were ready to sign up for our services, book in for your first appointment, be it at the GP or a children's service. And we would then sort out all of your care and project how we were going to look after you as your pregnancy continued. Now, things have evolved significantly in the time that I have been qualified to do the job that I do. So I'm going to talk to you about two different ways that you can access your midwife, which is currently the most up-to-date way that I know that is being used within the UK. So the first option is that you go direct via your GP services. This is where you would contact your general practitioner via the receptionist, or perhaps you just pop in and you can just ask them directly how you can access maternity services. Some GP practices have a resident midwife who is linked to their surgery, and they will refer directly into an appropriate appointment slot there and then for you. The other way that you can access maternity services is by doing what we call a self-referral. Now, lots and lots of trusts, especially in the north of England, I'm talking specifically about Yorkshire, you would do what we call a self-referral to maternity services. So you would do a quick Google search, find out what your local maternity place is called. So geographically, what's the closest hospital to you? What's the closest maternity NHS trust that provides maternity care? And somewhere on their website, there will be an option to self-refer. Now, this may then send you to an external link, and you will fill in the information for you to be able to self-refer through to the appropriate maternity provider. Usually at that point, it's going to ask you a couple of different questions. So it's going to ask you the obvious ones, like your name and your date of birth. Perhaps if you know it, what your National Health Service number is. That's a big old number. It's about 11 digits and it's different for every person. It's like your unique identifier for the NHS here within the UK. And it'll probably ask you what the first day of your last period was so that they can project through when they need to do your first contact with your local midwife. They may also take some extra information from you, including things like your previous medical history. They might ask you about previous pregnancies, or that information may be gathered a little bit later down the line at your first appointment with your local midwife. Don't expect to hear an instant result from them. It is very, very common for you to have a couple of working days, sometimes even a couple of weeks if you contact them super, super early. And the reason is for that is because we like to get you booked into the health service system around kind of the 7 to 10 week window, just depending on what the individual circumstances are around kind of birth provision and what we call caseloads, the amount of women that we work with within the local geographical area. And that will all depend on where you specifically are booking to have your pregnancy. Usually what happens from that appointment is they will book in your first contact face-to-face with the midwife. And at that first appointment, you can expect for them to ask you lots of questions. So I'm talking all of your medical history, your family history, your partner's family history, any previous pregnancies that you've got information about. They will probably do your blood pressure. They will probably do a urine sample. They will take some screening bloods, all of which should be explained in detail to you before it is taken and before it is sent off to the lab. The other thing that they might arrange at that appointment is a first contact with the scan department. Depending on what scans you are going for, they should be again explaining all of that information to you at that first appointment. So it's a bit more in depth. It can take a little bit more time than you were expecting. So if you are having to head out from work to go to that appointment, just make your employer aware that it's going to take a little bit longer. If you haven't yet told them, try and book a first thing in the morning appointment if possible, or later in the day if you're able to as well. What does that look like, though, if you are accessing care outside of the traditional maternity service? So accessing somebody like me, your private midwife. I provide pregnancy care all the way through from your very first pregnancy test, around 4 to 5 weeks, all the way through to 6 weeks of postnatal care. And I can do the same job as my wonderful colleagues in the NHS can as well. I can care for you all the way through. And our booking appointments look a little bit different. So you may decide that you want to access external support throughout your pregnancy outside of the traditional offering that maternity services can give you. And if that is what you are wanting for, think elevated, individualized, curated pregnancy care. That is what I specialize in. And you may choose that that's what you want for this pregnancy. And if that is the case, hello, pleased to meet you. Come on in. What we do is we will have a very quick kind of 15 to 30-minute virtual consultation as soon as possible. You get to meet your named midwife, the midwife that will be providing your care all the way through. We offer 100% guaranteed access to your named midwife throughout your pregnancy if that is what you choose. And because we get to know you on a really individualized basis, we are able to provide your care in a much more personalized manner. So we come and do your booking appointment in the safety and space of your own home, around your needs and your schedule. That includes your partner's needs and their schedule as well. So it might be that we come out in the evening, perhaps we come out on the weekend. It might be that our appointment is 3 hours if that's what you need in the first instance. And the way that you can book in with somebody like myself is you simply head to the link over on my website and fill in the form that says contact Bailey. The other option for you is to just book in a virtual consult, a quick 30-minute pick my brain, ask me any questions. And then from there, should you choose to continue your care with us, we will go through that exact same process again and do a full booking appointment with you, making sure that you get fully individualized care. And that's really it. Lots and lots of women are choosing to book their services for their maternity care outside of the traditional offering that has historically always been. There is usually a privately practicing or an independent midwife nearby, near you. There are lots and lots of different forums that you can jump on and find. So you can go and do a search for your local midwife and find what she specializes in. If you go to Zest Midwives in your search engine or findmymidwife.co.uk, you can search for a local independent midwife that can provide the service that you are looking for. If you are lucky enough to live within the vicinity of Yorkshire, I provide care in Yorkshire and beyond, and I work with a fabulous team of midwives who also provide the same kind of care that I do. We are all very experienced, fully insured, and we carry all the same equipment that our wonderful colleagues in the NHS provide as well. So if that's you, or you want any more information about what it looks like to book with your midwife, please do drop us a message, send us an email, or contact us via our website. I hope this has been super, super helpful and answered some of those niggling questions that you might have in this early stage of pregnancy. Or if you're a little bit later on and you want to contact us and reach out to get your care sorted with a private midwife, we're here for that too. Congratulations. I hope your journey into meeting your little one is as curated and beautiful and elite as you want it to be. Get informed, ask lots of questions. I would be happy to support you if I can.